I love it. Oh my gosh, there's a piece of caviar stuck on the camera.
I'm a dancer, and I'm a traveler. And wherever I go, I experience the world one dance at a time. I'm Mickela Mallozzi, and this is Bare Feet in NYC. Bare Feet is supported in part by
Bloomberg Connects gives you a way to experience the arts from your mobile phone. You can explore hundreds of cultural organizations from around the world, anytime, anywhere. Learn more at bloombergconnects.org or wherever you find your apps.
Welcome to the neighborhood known as Little Ukraine. Once a thriving community taking over much of Manhattan's East Village, modern-day Little Ukraine now mainly focuses around East 6th and East 7th Streets, between 1st and 3rd Avenues. About 1/3 of Ukrainian Americans living in New York City reside in this neighborhood. Ukrainian immigrants made their way to New York, starting with the mass European migration in the late 19th century. And they built a community that reached over 60,000 Ukrainian American residents at its peak in what became Little Ukraine. On this Bare Feet in NYC adventure, I keep to the confines of this little neighborhood and discover the long-lasting traditions that Ukrainian Americans have preserved for almost 150 years. My first stop is to the St. George Ukrainian Catholic Church at the corner of East 7th Street and Taras Shevchenko Place. The church was established in 1905, and it is the focal point of Little Ukraine, centered not only in the heart of the neighborhood, but also in the community's daily lives. I meet with the Dobryansky brothers, siblings who grew up in this community in a family very much centered around this church.
The Ukrainians came to America beginning at the end of the 19th century, and we have establishments here that date from the beginning of the 20th. So there's always been some part of Ukraine here for at least a century. This parish is 100 years old.
Wow.
And this entire street used to be from 3rd Avenue to Avenue A. Pretty much everything was a Ukrainian household for many, many decades.
Yep.
The thing that changes is obviously people move in over time. So when the new NYU students in the neighborhood move in, they're like, what's going on? And it's our annual 3-day giant festival of dancing and pierogies. And they're like, we did not get this on the brochure. We were all boy sopranos. We started singing in the church choir. We all took piano lessons, other instruments. Always very much involved in any kind of artistic expression in the house. We have all had the opportunity to perform as children and as teenagers and as adults at Carnegie Hall, at Lincoln Center, on Broadway, and that's all because of the Ukrainian community.
All 6 of us grew up learning how to play the piano. That was like a chore, meaning that, we had schedules at home.
How did you schedule your practice time? There's only one piano, I'm assuming.
At one point, there's only 4 children in the household because somebody's going to college or somebody's being born. My father came over here actually on a chemistry scholarship, then ditched it and went for a singing career. He slowly built up his repertoire and kind of became a singer amongst the Ukrainian community. And there's a Ukrainian Heritage Center upstate New York where he would also perform shows there.
It's sort of like Harriman's if you've seen Dirty Dancing. It's the Catskills.
Right.
It's a Ukrainian Dirty Dancing. My father was Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
And my mom had worked there at that time, and she saw one of the shows. And so they connected there. It's pretty interesting out of all the places in America that they met at a Ukrainian piece of property, and surrounded by Ukrainians.
Right.
And we, to this day, still go there every summer to just enjoy our heritage and watch shows. And I've been performing there for many years.
And then he became a singer at the Met.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that's incredible. How long was he with the Met?
Over 25 years.
Wow.
He had the 3rd most roles in history, so he was one of those guys who could do a lot of repertoire.
They would call him on his day off and say, look, can you come in right now? Because this guy's sick. And he'd go, yeah, sure, I know that.
Yeah.
But they would also call him if they needed advice on how to sing a different language. He was that knowledgeable.
My first experience going back to Ukraine, I was like, oh my God, this feels like, in a weird way, the East Village, because this is what I understand. Our parents and our grandparents created their home here. And that's what's special to me about the East Village.
Not only do the Dobryansky brothers sing, but they also know the traditional Ukrainian dances as well.
We're gonna start off easy, and we're gonna teach you a step called shnurotchka.
Shnurotchka.
A string of line going up and down, up and down.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And then you just skip.
Oh, my gosh.
You can do it in place, or you can do it moving with your partner.
Oh, here we go.
So you're gonna be moving backwards,
Oh, my God.
okay?
Am I pulling you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're guiding me.
Okay, ready?
Okay, ready? And one arm is gonna be up like that.
Like
for you.
this?
Yes.
And I just
Ready?
go 1,
Yep.
5, 6, 7, 8.
and.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
What we know of Ukrainian folk dance today is a product of dance evolution and blending, as prominent dancers in the Ukrainian art form began to combine their high-energy folk dances with classical dance techniques.
We do a lot of lifts also
Okay.
in Ukrainian folk dancing. Your legs are gonna come out straight, and they're gonna be like this.
Wait,
by the ankles.
together.
That's right, together.
Okay.
And your arms are gonna be out like this.
Like this.
And I'm gonna lift you, and we're gonna go in a circle.
What?
Ready? And up.
Woo!
Bend your knees.
Folk dancing is a social act that you do with each other, and the kind of steps that we've practiced and what the ensembles teach you is a concert dance version of it, which means it's everybody's lined up, everybody knows what they're doing, so it's less flash mob and more like we've decided, choreographed everything.
Next step is pitkilka, and all four of us can do this.
Pitkilka.
Pitkilka, and if you're teaching a little child, a nickname for that step is bebe, which means hit, hit.
Bebe.
Okay, so you will actually keep that in your mind, because what you're going to do is one leg comes out, and the bottom leg that you're standing on will come up and hit the top leg. And you go 1 and 2.
Whew.
And you're gonna do the same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The arm that's up is always the
The
tail.
opposite.
Yeah, it's the tail end, okay? The elbow will point your way.
Ah.
Okay? And we go 1,
Oh,
2,
you're moving.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 2, 3.
Get in. Woo! Woo!
You all right?
Yeah, okay.
Dizzy, dizzy?
A little dizzy.
Okay.
Wait, let's do the other one. This is so much fun. And I'm still a little dizzy.
Okay.
After literally being swept off my feet from dancing with the Dobryansky brothers, Yarko was kind enough to show me around to some of Little Ukraine's gems that have lasted throughout the years. Our first stop was directly across the street from the St. George Church to Surma, an unassuming shop that transports you back to the early days of Little Ukraine.
Whoa. Unbelievable.
Yeah, this place has been here forever. I remember coming here as a child and actually walking over from school during the first day of spring, and the owner would hand out jars of honey and an apple to each child.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow. This is so cool. Hi,
Nice to see
Mickela.
you. Nice to meet you,
Nice to
Mickela.
meet
Mark
you.
Ann.
Good to see you again.
My grandfather founded this business in 1918.
Wow.
Yeah, he'd come over in 1910, worked in the coal mines of Pennsylvania, and then he found a niche where he could offer Ukrainians still coming in through Ellis Island a way of assimilating into this new life of the United States.
Yarko here said he remembered coming in as a kid and getting a jar of honey and an apple.
Right.
What is-
That was my grandfather,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
that's beautiful.
My grandfather was a beekeeper, and it was something that he brought with him and maintained and did while, when he was here as well.
What is this? I see a lot of, like, you're wearing an embroidered shirt. There's all this embroidery.
Embroidery is a big part of Ukrainian culture. Each pattern comes from a different region of Ukraine. It was used to say, oh, this man is from Poltava, or this man is from Lviv, or this man is from Donetsk. Now it's more about really being proud of our country, our culture. I actually remember making these at home on the kitchen table. You would buy these dyes, which we bought here, and you can change the color of the eggs completely with whatever dye you wanted. Before you do the dye, you would actually draw on it. And so we would do like rubber bands to do the long lines and trace it around.
There's a little tool that we saw over there.
Yes.
To get, I mean, these are just tiny, tiny lines.
Oh, yeah.
But how do you hollow out, look, there's...
You need a needle to puncture through. And then you can actually poke on the other side and blow it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the smell of it in here smells older than any other.
This smell I remember from my childhood, and I love that it's still here.
Where are we going now?
We're going to the famous Baczynski's Meat Market, where this is one of the last remaining true meat markets in New York.
Wow.
The East Village Meat Market is one of the oldest meat shops in this neighborhood. Located at the corner of 2nd Avenue and 9th Street, the shop was founded in 1970 by Julian Baczynski, a Ukrainian American whose lifelong dream of owning a business came true when he opened the shop.
We thought we'd come and visit the Ukrainian meat market here in New York.
Thank you very much
Baczynski's.
for coming.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
letting us come.
Please, it's a pleasure for you. Us to
Just
have
the
you here.
smell that's coming
It's
through.
not only the smell, but we have so much food.
Yeah, I know.
The East Village Meat Market's tradition of making fresh homemade kielbasa, the Ukrainian smoked sausage, happens on a daily basis. And today couldn't have been a better day. It was officially Pierogi Day here at the shop.
Oh my God, the smell.
This smells awesome. I think I just heard that they have pumpkin pierogies.
Oh my gosh, pumpkin pierogies. So these are short rib, I see.
Pierogis are one of the most recognizable dishes from Ukraine. They are the Eastern European version of the dumpling, made of unleavened dough with sweet and savory fillings, including potatoes, cheese, fruit, ground meat, and sauerkraut.
Notice how she said you have to get three. Everything by three.
It's like the Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity, you have to have three. Even if you're full, you have to have three.
You have to have three.
Three.
Yes.
Yep.
It's nice. That's something.
Absolutely.
See, it's not just food and meats, but you have like candies,
Absolutely.
everything you need, I guess. It's like a regular market, too.
Yeah.
Blintzes, or blini, are very similar to the French crepe. Like pierogis, they are also made of unleavened dough with savory and sweet fillings, but blintzes are prepared more similarly to pancakes.
Blends with caviar.
Oh my God.
What just happened right now?
I don't know, but I can eat this all day.
Oh my gosh. This is, I think, my new favorite in the world.
Typical Ukrainian culture where, look, the mother or is feeding the young no matter what. No matter what. Because we need to be nourished to dance
Yes.
and sing.
Yep. I love it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Дякую. Thank you.
This is awesome.
This is incredible.
This
Let
is
me
like-
divide up this.
This is also going to be like Russian roulette. Pierogi roulette.
Yes.
We have no idea what's in them.
pierogi roulette.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then I got to find that cheese and potato.
I think that one might
This
be.
one? This one?
Yeah.
They're all delicious.
Yeah.
So you get sour cream, just on there, and onions.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
Was short rib also a new flavor, or sort of a traditional flavor?
It's sort of a new flavor over the last, I'd say, 10 years.
Oh, good.
Right? See, I'm a traditionalist, but you know what? These are surprising me.
Because they're newer.
Yeah. It's like that lost brother that you wish you would have found out about early on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Pierogi-wise?
Yeah. Last one.
Nice. Good, right? Yeah.
It's like a little pumpkin pie in your mouth. Pumpkin pie party pierogi in your mouth.
1 block away on 6th Street is the Ukrainian Museum. Founded in 1976, the museum's mission is to showcase Ukrainian American artists, performers, and culture through its permanent collection, as well as touring exhibitions.
The museum has 3 different collections that we collect in. One is the folk art with which the museum started. It stems from the World's Fair in 1933 of Chicago, where Ukrainians had built a pavilion, and the Women's League had brought in items from Ukraine to display there. After the World's Fair, they held on to this collection. In '76, decided to open up a museum to house this collection and to preserve it. And then we also began collecting in the fine arts area and in the archives area.
Because I've seen the embroidery that is very prevalent in the Ukrainian tradition. What is the sort of overlying theme in Ukrainian folk art?
One characteristic is there's a great variety, really, in the folk arts, ranging from the western part of Ukraine to the eastern part, to the central parts of Ukraine. You can kind of be able to tell the folk arts of the various regions just by looking at the embroideries, the ceramics, wood carvings, and they tend to reflect the particular regions. But they also have a lot of symbolism in them. If you look at the Ukrainian Easter egg, these designs are very symbolic. We do various exhibits and we change them. And our goal is to show various aspects of the Ukrainian culture, of Ukrainian history, to introduce people really to Ukrainian culture and our heritage.
This is a beautiful, beautiful space right in the heart of the East Village in Little Ukraine. And you can come and see beautiful pieces by Ukrainian artists and some of the history and some of the folk art that these people have brought to this country. It's beautiful. My last stop in Little Ukraine is to the Roma Prima Bohachevsky School of Ukrainian Dance, located only a few blocks away. Every Saturday, after the children leave their Ukrainian language classes at St. George Church, they walk over to the dance studios on 4th Avenue to continue their studies in traditional dance. Classes are available for all ages and levels, and my introduction to this school came to me by way of a very proud Ukrainian American. Christina Lutsenko is a fan of Bare Feet. You reached out to me over a year ago, talking about, you saw my show and wanted me to see the Ukrainian community here in the East Village.
I grew up in New Jersey, just a quick 20-minute drive through the Holland Tunnel. So I was in the city all the time with my parents for cultural events. And then as I got older, I would come in by myself, meet friends, go to Veselka. The East Village was the place.
I've always known about, but I never really immersed myself into it. The classes are packed. There are so many kids in this, and a lot of boys, too.
Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's something that parents will say and tell their sons, you know, you're gonna learn Ukrainian dance. Because I think it allows the children to, and the young, you know, dancers to express themselves, to really feel the music, to feel connected to a culture, connected to each other. And for me, it's beautiful. Every Saturday, my daughter goes to Ukrainian language school, and I feel like she kind of gets through Ukrainian school and she gets through Ukrainian Scouts, and she loves those, but dance, Ukrainian dance, that is the best part of her day, I'll have to say. Everybody comes together. During dance class, the moms and the dads will sit, we'll chat, we'll catch up, we'll share gossip, we'll share news, grab a cup of coffee. So it's a way that we stay connected, too, with each other.
And 4. And run the jump. Slow quarter rock. Take your time. And 7. Through the front.
Now, you're not Ukrainian.
No.
No. Your wife is Ukrainian.
Yes.
Tell us how you got involved.
I studied at School of American Ballet. I went to Jacob's Pillow, Perry dance. I did a lot. I did a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm 6 years dancing. I've done all these things. And a friend of mine calls me up one day and says, hey, I dance with the Ukrainian Dance Ensemble. Would you be interested in participating or joining? And I was like, what's that? I go to a class, I see Roma Prima teaching that class, and I see these amazing dancers twirling, the guys jumping, the backflips, all these amazing things. And all of a sudden, like just something just hit me. Just fell in love with this style of dance, with the power, the energy, the grace, the beauty. And extend and hold. And 10. Hold that arm there. In. And straight back. Shoulders over this. Ukrainian dance in the East Coast, there's a big, long history that starts from a couple of pioneers of Ukrainian dance that came over here through Europe, through Canada, and then to the United States, like Vasyl Avraменko, and the one who created all this, Roma Prima Bohachevska. She started here in the city and then branched out to some of the different boroughs and states like Jersey and Connecticut, because the demand all of a sudden was very high. You know, you didn't have too many people coming from Ukraine teaching this dance culture. She had a ballet background as well as a Ukrainian dance background, and she wanted to create a company that melded those elements together, ballet and Ukrainian dance and even contemporary and modern dance. And then having these schools, I think she wanted to just create kind of like a summer home where she could hone the craft in an intense time period. Because the thing about teaching, if you're one teacher teaching in 5 different states or boroughs throughout the week, that means you can only have one class every week with these kids. The summer intensive kept kids there for maybe 2 weeks at a time, 4 weeks at a time.
Every day.
Every day.
Right.
Right before she passed away in 2004, we went to her apartment for Christmas to celebrate and say hi. It was just before Christmas, I believe. And she says, look, you know, I have some problems and, you know, I'm thinking of retiring soon and I think I would love for you to take over the schools.
Wow.
Little did I know she was sick. And 6 months later, she passed away. For me, you know, thinking about where my life was at that point and what I was meant to do, I figured, yeah, this is you know, my destiny. This is my path. You're gonna go 1, you let go 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
My first try is at the women's dance steps,
7, hold last time.
primarily made up of lavish twirls and turns and fast footwork.
Up, 2, good, now back, 8 step, good, and then back. Up, and up, woo, and 1.
Orlando, it's like a variation of ballet. I mean, it's like Ukrainian ballet, it
Pretty
feels
much.
like.
Yeah, the beauty of the Ukrainian movements that came from, you know, these rural places, to try to define them in a much more stylistic way, we have to add the ballet.
Yeah.
But the one thing that's different, or a little bit different, is that you have to have very strong legs when you do Ukrainian folk dance.
Yeah.
Because for the boys, especially, you do a lot of what we call prishiki, or the crouching movements. And for the girls, you do a lot of movements where you're on releve a lot. And a lot of quick movements and sharp movements.
Yeah.
So you have to have very strong legs that move quickly and effectively. Good, hold, and 1.
Then I try the men's dance steps, a bit more acrobatic and of course primarily meant to wow the audience.
Good, now give me 2 arms here, and here, that's it. It's just like a Sinead turn, there you go. And finish. Ukrainian dance for me is Ukrainian dance as an art form, but it's an art form first. It's a style of dance. My goal, I may never see it in my lifetime, is to make Ukrainian dance like ballet. Because ballet started in the French courts, moved on to Italy, and then on to the Russians and to Russia, and look at what that happened. Now there's a universal language, ballet. You can go anywhere in the world, and you may not be able to speak that country's language, but you go to ballet class, you're speaking the same language.
I am going to transform into a Ukrainian dancer with all these other Ukrainian dancers, and we're going to perform that little bit that we just learned in full garb. It's totally sweaty. It's awesome. Let's go. All right.
Slit in the bottom.
Ah.
Yeah.
That?
Wait, hold on. I'm making it. Go all the way down, and then push it back up, because it has a comb in it.
Ta-da, I'm Ukrainian. Officially.
These dancers prepare for performances throughout the year, including at the annual Ukrainian festival here in the neighborhood every May, at the summer camp, and of course at local Ukrainian American events.
Guys, go through. Can't stay. 2, 3, 4. Turn. 1, 2. Keep kicking. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and down and up and finish. Pose. All right. Nice job. Good job. I was horrible for the first 5 years. Because when you transfer from a ballet body to try to do the movements that are done in Ukrainian folk dance, where it's very lower body, intense, and lots of jumps where you're not just jumping and doing a jeté or sort of shot, you're doing split jumps. You're doing jumps where your legs are in the air, pike jumps. You're doing back breakers where you're jumping and your feet are touching your head. All these really intense things. So there's a lot for me to still learn, but that's the beauty of this too, that not only are my kids learning every day, but I'm also still learning.
Little Ukraine is a neighborhood small in size, but alive and thriving with incredible energy, arts, and long-standing traditions here in New York City. From the dances that came over and evolved here in America, to the arts that followed suit, Little Ukraine is a neighborhood here in New York that connects the past with the present in perfect harmony. And I'll see you on my next Bare Feet in NYC adventure, wherever it may take me. You can stay connected with us on travelbarefeet.com, where you'll find extra bonus videos, join our Bare Feet series conversations through social media, and stay updated with our newsletter.
You dance incredibly.
Yay, thank you!
We just bumped into a fan.
Yes! Who's feeding me the most delicious food? That's amazing!
She said you'd travel around the world dancing everywhere.
There you go! Thank you! Thank you so much!